Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hopefully, you guys were able to get the notifications for me doing my live streams. Car Guy Pat, what's going on? You are number one. RC Steven, what's going on, bro? Mr. Joseph Erickson, once again, what's going on, my brother? Ultimate Traxxas, man, what's going on? OMGRC, what's going on? Tap Money, this is my boy. You guys ever get to watch channels, check it out, Tap Money. Monfordale 1, what's going on, my friend? Jesse Haggerty, what's going on? Anyway, this is gonna be a quick video. So, Dark Knight, what's going on? New York City 007 Bangers, what's going on? So this is gonna be a quick video, pretty much giving you a rundown of guys who have been doing the Rustler Mamba Monster or whatever, uh, primarily whatever. Mr. Luca Wagner, what's going on? RC for Life, what's going on? And it's gonna pretty much give you a rundown of what's in my RC. Lewis LP RC, what's going on? Steve, what's going on? Steve DeClark, hopefully I got that right. Building my team. The Ultimate Tracks Man said, building my team associated B64 club racer right now as we speak. Awesome. New York City Banger says, I'm glad you took the Rustler out for a live chat. Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to go over everything. Larry Washington, what's going on? How's everything? Advanced Flow 21. Adam Higher RC Hunting, what's going on? Randy Thomas, what's going on? Fox RC Racing, what's going on? Anyway, if you like the content that I'm doing, definitely give me a thumbs up. This definitely helps out my channel. I'm starting to pull out more and more videos when I am available. So primarily, I'm going to be going into doing a whole bunch of videos, which each and every one of my RCs and what I've done. And since I've been doing the RC game for, I would say I'm coming up on 6 years. I see you took the best beast out of the shelf. Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna go over a part list of people that are doing the 100 mile per hour Rustler. I know the 100 mile per hour Rustler has been dated for the last few years right now, but a lot of people are still coming across and checking out new RC videos and checking out a few things that are happening out there with the RC channels that are out there, and they're coming across and asking me what's going on with the Rustler that you haven't seen in a while. If you guys ever want to check out a few videos with the Rustler and a lot of my RCs, a guy by the name of Everyday RC and XY did a video montage, and he actually has a video of the Rustler running. So, so definitely check him out on Instagram, or you can go on my Instagram page at GeoStealthR1, hashtag GeoStealthR1. You'll be able to see this RC and a few other my RCs like Stan Pinky, the Maximus, which is the Emax, my slash 4x4, which is Deadlock, and you'll be able to see a few other RCs out there that are in actuality presented, and he did a nice video montage because he does a lot of filming with that. So I'm gonna come across and give you the nitty-gritty of everything that's over there, and I do have a part list. But if you guys ever want to check a part list, in the description below I do have each and every part that I've put onto this RC since birth. So that being said, let's begin. So primarily, let's start off with the controller. The controller is a very old controller. This is my DX3R, specifically for only 3 RCs. The 3 RCs that I utilize this controller for would be for the Rustler Mamba Monster, my E-Revo, and also my SCX10. So I ended up utilizing this type of system for the controller that has been out there. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I'm going to be doing an update video with the Fortec 2.0. That will be coming. I'm going to be doing everything. So that is the controller that I'm using. Also, as you guys can see, I do have a specific case for it, and I do have the GeoStealth R1 tag that's on there. This, I'm giving away this sticker very soon, so you guys wait for that. which is going to be coming across. I'm going to be giving that sticker away with the S-Max that I'm going to be giving away for a lot of people that are out there. Where's the vodka? Where's the vodka? I think the vodka's in the hobby room, which is down the hall and to the left. So, all right. So let me start off with the lid. The lid, in actuality, I painted years ago. You guys may not notice it, but it does have a little bit of wear and tear on it. But I ended up coming in and going with the Pro Graphics body when I initially did this years ago, and I started throwing a whole bunch of decals, as you guys can see from there, and GRP tires and everything like that. So that's primarily it. A few customized decals that I utilized when I did this body so many years ago. A lot of people have asked me to make a replica body that they would buy it just to have a replica GL Stealth R1 body. When I ended up purchasing this body back then, I think it was around $35. The paint was probably 4 cans of paint. That was another $35. Custom decals, a whole bunch of different companies that I ended up going with and utilizing their decals, and a few companies that gave me their decals with that. So once I did this body, this is one of my flagship RCs. So a lot of people, I don't really see anybody with this type of body, but a lot of people know once they see this body, they know it's mine. So pretty cool thing. I mean, make yours your own, but this one's mine. So I'll put you right there, and we'll come across and talk about what's in the RC itself. I'm gonna give you a visual of that, as you can hear the motor clacking right there. So let's start off with a little bit of history on this RC. So basically, we're talking about 6 years ago. I ended up doing kind of like a conceptual thing with two other RC enthusiasts out there. Draven 3907, which is Ace. If you guys have been familiarized with the channel for a while, I give a lot of props to him. He's out of the RC game at this point. And another guy out there is Mr. MRT Mustang 1, and his name is Joe. So years ago, we ended up coming across and, conceptually starting to do breaking 100 miles per hour with the Rustler, which was definitely a cool conceptual thing to do at the time. Nobody was really breaking 100 miles per hour, and people feared investing that kind of money in burning out an ESC. At the time, it was the Rustler, the Mamba Monster Castle Creations first edition, their Mamba Monster system, and the 2200 kV motor. And a lot of people didn't get the formula out, as quickly as possible. That being said, once the 100 miles per hour was broken, that's when I conceptually started saying, you know what, not for nothing, the RCs look like crap. So I ended up throwing my spin on it to where I wanted to have a customized Rustler. And when I started explaining that to Draven, he was like, "Yeah, man, yo, that's pretty cool." And he started doing a little bit of conceptual work on his RCs as well. But I kind of thought that RCs should be fast, but they should also look good. Let me look at the few of the comments that are out there. I'll just this will be very quick. So let me see. Larry Washington says, "Wow, he's a lucky guy to have a video of it. Not many out there." Lewis says, "I've been making upgrade videos for the Vortec 2.0. Send me a link. I'd definitely like to see it." RC for Life says, "Love the drop down on the wheels for that controller." Yeah, you know what? That controller, when it first came out, it was awesome. New York City 007 Banger says, "The favorite RC of all time is the Rustler." You know what? This is my flagship RC. Joe Erickson says, "And the X-Max." RC for Life says, "I take a Diet Coke." Stephen DeClark says, "Lewis, LIPRC that just wants to look at the car today. It is a decent car." RC for Life says instead. New York City 007 Banger says, "Getting famous, bro." Lewis LPRC says, "I have more parts coming in." Stephen DeClark says, "I did my own Rustler body also. Your Mama Monster, love it." Larry Washington says, "I remember when you was in the process of building the Mama Monster, bro. Dan, she came a long way. Great job. Thank you very much." New York City 007 Banger says, "Javid hasn't dropped a video in years." The reason why I ended up doing a lot of videos of why he hasn't done RCs in a while, and it's kind of sad, what's initially transpired with him throughout the years. But he's alive and he's doing his thing. RC for Life says, guys, I just made a carbon fiber Rustler spoiler air brake that goes down and up depending on the amount of throttle given. Oh, pretty cool. The vid is on my channel. Send me a link to that. I'd like to see it. World's first RC to have it. New York City 007 Banger says, put a link up of that spoiler. Sure, 1 second. And here you go. So he'll put the link up there. Your Rustler is great. That's from Lewis. Thank you. Chevy Man Vapes Cloud. What's going on? So I'll get to the comments in a few seconds. I'll go over a few things. So one of the things that I brought into the RC game when I ended up started doing customization is having matching TechFlex, which is the cover that's for the RC. And as you can see, I matched that very, very nicely with my Rustler. If you guys are ever interested, which, in actuality, you kind of thought the company that I kind of gave a lot of props to would have given me some free stuff. Nope, nope, nope. So basically, this is wire mesh. The only reason why I knew about wire mesh is because of my industry. That I do a lot of. I've done a lot of AV and stuff like that, and I've always seen wire mesh, and I'm like, well, why not adapt it to the hobby that I'm doing? So I ended up adapting it to almost all my RCs have wire mesh. I think it gives it a little bit more of a panache on your RC, and it gives you a little bit of just a little bit more style and customization when you are doing your RC setup. So that's on eBay. You're able to get TechFlex. I believe on the Mamba Monster system, it's the I believe it's the 1/4 size, and I believe the 1/8 size is for like the Valenian system on the smaller 110 scale Castle Creation type systems. The batteries that I'm utilizing on this RC is the 50C Venom batteries, double. So this is a 6S system. Now, back in the days when this was built, me and Draven were always talking about having an 8S setup. And when that initially transpired years later, where Castle Creation came out with their XL system, at that point we've already evaporated all the hopefully I said that word correctly. We ended up, conceptually, we didn't want to come across and start doing that, making an 8S system, because at that point, I mean, I know guys that have done the 8S system, but we were going to do it back then when the XL came out the first time, and then they perfected it a little bit more with the XL2, which I have in my XL1, and now they have the XLX with bigger capacitors and everything like that. So this is a 6S system, 5,000 milliamp, 50C burst. So you're looking at 100 Cs altogether, and that's on the battery end. So another thing that I ended up putting into my own customization is I ended up going with like vinyl. I ended up doing carbon fiber vinyl, and it was pretty big when it first came out. Just giving it your own panache for the RC. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but when back in the days, if you broke 100 miles per hour, I would have given you the 4 Aces Rustler 100 mile per hour Mamba Monster sticker. And that's what I did for a time. And a lot of people ended up getting the sticker once they broke that. So that being said, let's look a little bit more into the RC. As you can see, there's weight in front of there. If you're looking at the color of the weight, I ended up, a lot of people went with silver or started making their own. I ended up going with a motorcycle weight, which is the same thing that they have on the cars, just for you to have more weight on the RC. This is more than 1 pound and 5 ounces that I put onto the RC. Also, as you can see, I do have shock covers onto this, to my shocks. You can look for the shock covers on eBay, or you can go to badhorsey.com. I'm not sponsored by Bad Horsey, but I always try to give them props because it's easier for you guys to find them. So those are the orange shocks covers. People have always given me crap about having the Integy shocks on there, the piggybacks, that they don't work. Realistically speaking, they don't need to work. I mean, I'm going to show you. They don't go down. They really don't go up. So it's more stable when the cart is dropped down lower. Also, going back into what's controlling it, I do have the telemetry system from Spectrum. If I can give you, let me see. I got the list right here. The telemetry receiver is the SR3300T, and the high-speed servo that I have that's working over here is the 6040 from Spectrum as well. Also, battery straps, heat sensor, telemetry sensor, RPM sensor, uh, and battery sensor that I have installed in there. Also, ended up introducing a lot of people to a newer company that was out there. It was T-Bone Racing. And T-Bone Racing, I ended up going with the front bumper, and I ended up going with the rear bumper. Why did I go with the rear bumper mostly on the T-Bone Racing? Main reason is because I needed this to be protected, my motor. Now, what T-Bone has done right now is that they made a new type of bumper to where it covers more of the 1/8 scale motors over here. I never acquired it. I never needed to acquire it, but that's something always good to have. T-Bone Racing has an excellent reputation of standing by their product. Now let's go into a lot of the aluminum that's over here. I ended up going with the Integy aluminum. Back in the days, they utilized the liquid form. Now they're going bullet aluminum to where it's more stable. I have the Integy. At the time, they didn't make too many things where you were able to fit the Mamba Monster in there. There's a few other companies that do it now, but this is the Integy orange, um, the orange transmission case. I ended up going with the Integy bulkhead. If you ever get a Rustler, always have a stronger bulkhead because that's the first things that go on there, and Integy steering and everything like that. Now, we'll talk a few things about the RPM parts that are on my car, and a few people get kind of annoyed because they can't find colored RPM parts, and they don't even make them white because you can't dye them. So I have the arms that are from RPM, which is the front and the rears. As you guys can see, front and rear. I do have the on the rear. I have the shock tower, and I have the front shock tower, which are orange as well. Um, on the steering, they never made the caster blocks for them, but they did make the steering in orange, and also the hub carriers I have in there are also orange. You guys can see that right there. Um, let's talk about the motor and the ESC. The motor is a Castle Creations 2200 kV motor. And the Mamba Monster system, this is the Mamba Monster 1, is set up for, 1/8 scale type RC, and you throw it into a 110 scale. The one thing I love about this ESC as opposed to the Mamba Monster 2 and the Mamba Monster X, the Mamba Monster 2 and the Mamba Monster X do run hotter for the reason that they made them water resistant. So they do run hotter, and these were the best right now because this is never going into water. So why even have that type of setup? So the Mamba Monster 1 to me still packs more punch than anything else. I do have a 10 amp BEC for that for my servo. Other things that I have customized on there, the drive shafts. I could have went years ago back then. I could have went with the MIPs, but I ended up enjoying putting on the Traxxas drive shafts, which I've never had issues with them. Also, my links are all titanium from Lunsford, which was a definitely cool thing to have when I did acquire it back then. All my screws are from RC Screws. Run you around 28 bucks if you're looking to get something like that. The tires are from GRP. These are the Velocity tires. They're rated for 150, 160 miles an hour. 1, 2, 3 passes, not continuous passes, because they're not going to warranty that because they're going to notice that you're utilizing them. Also, the orange 17 millimeter hub adapters are from Extreme Racing. That's X. Instead of EX, it's X Extreme Racing. And they were for the Slash 2-wheel drive, and I adapted them for the Rustler Mamba Monster. What else? Little knickknacks I ended up throwing in there. I mean, a few companies that you can find. As you can see, I have orange nuts for my stainless steel screws that I put in there. What else on this car that you guys... Oh, people are asking me what composite am I using, and I'm utilizing the S4s. Also, when you're doing speed runs, you definitely want to try to balance your wheels so they're nice and smooth. You got to get upgraded bearings, so it's just just a totally different setup when you have better bearings when you're utilizing this. This continuously should be spinning, because when you even if it's not the Rustler Mamba Monster, any type of RC that you're utilizing, make sure that the bearings are on point. There's ceramic bearings in here. I can't remember how much I paid for that, but possibly $100 something just for the bearings on this RC. I did have the ESC extender, the battery extender right here, that I installed in there. That's one thing that you could do. Now let's talk about the gearing. The gearing that I have here right now, the only reason why it's on here is because when I modified the gears, when I had the silver transmission case, I did have to modify this. And then when I ended up going back to a regular setup, I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to throw a 20, I believe it's a 25 here, and this is a 34. You are able to go 1-to-1. So you are able to go 35 to 35, and I've seen guys go 36 to 34. So if you're doing speed runs, definitely look into that. I'm gonna go over a few of the statements that have been made in a few. So I see a lot of chattering happening since let me see. Gotta say, you're very neat with the colors and tie downs. Thank you very much, NYC 007. RC for Life says, love the orange. Stephen DeClark says, I seen you give that wire mesh to Dark Ecliptic Heart, something for his builds, Demon and his Rustler. Yes, I did. Me and Jason, if you guys ever get to watch his channel, Dark Ecliptic Heart, I mean, definitely, we've known each other for like 6 years right now. How much weight? I think it's 1 pound, 1.5 ounces, 6 ounces. That's New York City Double Seven Bangers asked that. How much weight you have exactly? Well, that's 1 pound. So Lord knows what the RC is gonna weigh. Oh, Vox Magna too. What's going on? Let me see. Damn, it's heavy for its size. Yes, it's very heavy. Stephen DeClark says that was cool to help another racer. Props to you, bro. No problem. NYC 007 says, don't think he has much of those. Those are wheel weights. Yep. Dark Knight, why don't you ever show your face? The main reason why I don't show my face is because of the industry that I'm in. No, I'm not a porn star. So I'll get stuff like that. But the main reason why I don't show my face is because of a lot of the the industry that I'm in, A, and B, you deal with a lot of people giving you a lot of crap. I mean, if you guys have ever seen me in the hobby shops and stuff like that, I've taken a lot of pictures with a lot of people. A lot of people know who I look like. But I just kind of separate the two, for the main reason that, I don't need to be out there. I don't even, I don't need to be out there. My main passion is my work. I like doing, and mind you, for anybody who thinks that you're making a lot of money, this is not my career. Me doing my RCs and stuff like that. So when I do help a lot of people, I try to make it inexpensive for them to acquire things like that, because you don't have to do all these things to an RC to make it go 100 miles an hour. It's just all the customizations I'm doing to make it look like it's a dope RC, and people look at it and people come across and say, oh snap, that's Gio's RC. So that is one of the main reasons why I don't show my face. Not that I'm trying to avoid child support, but that's one of the main things that I try to keep to myself. If you ever come to the events that me and Chris from Everyday RC throw, the bash events, you'll definitely be able to meet up with me and stuff like that. If you ever come to the hobby shops like Hobby Heroes, Brooklyn Hobbies, Willis Hobbies, any of the other hobby shops, a lot of people either A, know my voice, or B, know the RCs that I bring there. So that being said, that's one of the main reasons why I don't do that, which a lot of people want me to freaking do that. They say it gets a little bit more personal when I do speak to the YouTube audience if my face was on there. And realistically speaking, on the hobby realm, it's a very small, tight-knit community, and there are a lot of big RC channels out there that know who I am. We got Aaron from RC Adventures, and I've known Aaron for a little while now. One day I will go to Canada, and I know when I do go to Canada and I do go to his events, my face will most likely be showing on his channel, which is a cool thing. I don't mind it. I'll do it, you know. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be happening very, very soon. All right, let me see. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Marcus, how much did you put into that car? This car is probably 3,000 and change. Chevy Vateman Clouds. Not getting a new. I don't even know what it says. Um, bum, bum, bum. How much exactly? Size. Okay, keep going, keep going. Okay, so that's Dark Knight. Um, you know him by his hand and his watch. Well, primarily with my watch is pretty new when it comes down to that, you know. But 9 times out of 10, you'll see me with the bracelet on, which is this. So the watch is pretty new to the channel, you know, if anything. Uh, let's keep going down. Traxxas, Ultimate Traxman says, love that Rustler. Dark Knight says, true that. Joe Erickson says, really nice setup you got there on the RC Badass. Thank you very much. Larry Washington says, what do you think about the Savox servo, bro? I have a lot of Savox servos. I mean, you got to tell me which one. I mean, is it the brushless one? Is it the waterproof one? The servo that I have in here is from Spectrum. RC for Life says, insane that you can put this insane amount of power in just 2 inches of tires. Yeah, GRP for Life is awesome, bro. New York City 007 Bangers says, I can never get my Rustler to run straight. Somehow, shit steers after 70 miles per hour. Well, you definitely have to lower your Rustler. And also, you definitely have to, if you're able to do it on your controller, shorten the throw on steering. And heat up the tires. Let me see. Savox are one of the best servos in my opinion. Yeah, they are. I've not. I think I have a few high tech servos, and those go into other RCs. RC for Life says, maybe because your tolerance on balance. Yeah, that's true. The diff. Yeah, and there's a sealed diff in the transmission case if you guys ever wanted to know that as well. RC for Life says, nice. I got the same tires on my Rusty. New York City 007 sweet tires. Where did you get them from, Gio? The tires are from GRP tires. These are the Velocity tires, and you can go to Hobby Heroes, call them up, and break their chops. They know me very well over there. Stephen DeClark says, what is the total cost for the car and upgrades? You're looking at 3,000 and change. I did the balance. Okay. All right. RC for Life said probably your diff needs more weight in the front, possibly. Make sure that it's look. See, you could barely move this. Make sure you're not wobbling all over the place. Did you hear from Tower Hobbies went bankrupt? Wouldn't surprise me. They lost the contract with Traxxas. New York City says I'm running the lock diff. Because they refused to sell the Traxxas parts. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because they refused to. No, they didn't refuse. Traxxas said, "No more for you," because of the whole armor allegedly. RC for Life says that could be speed runs. Buying the plane. Nice Rustler. Sinister RC. What's going on? New York City. I have my weights right behind the bumper. I have it better in the center of gravity. Yeah, I mean this thing. I mean it. You have to. I mean you have to. There's a few things tweaks. If you go to my older videos, I'll be able to go over that with you. New York City, I don't use weights. Aerodynamics works. Aerodynamics does work, but the thing is that if you get any type of because since this is open, air seeps in right here, and since you don't have weights, it'll flip up. Now, a lot of guys put the 1/8 scale body on it where they won't get air, and they'll have the air pushed out. But on this, is a specific different way to do it. Whoever rides bikes with Geo obviously knows his face. So Geo, I got a I got a 2016 ZX10 when we riding. You come out to Long Island and you definitely could ride with me, no problem. I ride with a few guys, and none of our motorcycles are governed. My bike GPS, that 194. There's a few tweaks that I have. If you guys ever get to watch the channel, usually you'll know that there's a lot of things happening with my bike. Uh, does he take his helmet off? If I'm in Florida, when I rode with my boys in Florida for Bike Week, we didn't have any helmets, and we were just annihilating the highways. It was insane. I'm wearing goggles and stuff like that, so it's pretty insane when you go in. Uh, Different methods. I'm building a new plane. I always wondered how the plane hobby is doing. I know the helicopter hobby got destroyed because of all the quadcopters that are out there. Damn, I thought I had a lot into my Rustler. I got 1,500. Yeah, dude, there are parts in here that you can't even find anymore. Chevy Man Vapes Cloud says out. Peace. Oh, you're out. Take it easy, man. New York City. What compound are you using on the GRP tires? These are S4s. Yes, that is correct. S4s I'm using. Randy Thomas. Have you ever gotten your hands on the Wait, have you ever got your hands on weighted bumper from Saga Customs? He also has some weights bolted on. You know, it's kind of the thing with Saga is he never reached out to a lot of the old timers that did the RC stuff. He reached out to Jess, which is a cool thing. Never once reached out to me. I think the main reasons why he didn't reach out to my channel is because I had so many projects going along that his concentration was mostly the concentration of that company is mostly all speed runs, and I try to do different aspects of the RC. New York City says, nice, just did a ECU flash, the Motorsports, got a link up. Oh yeah, yeah, the ECU flash is awesome. What you can do is go with a P5, and then have it dynoed, and then once you get I got the ECU unleashed for my motorcycle, and a whole bunch of other things. I have velocity stacks. I just recently, since we're doing high speed racing, I'm running the GPR steering stabilizer, which definitely helps me when I'm doing high end speeds. As you guys have seen on my channel, I got a full pipe exhaust on my Yamaha R1, and yeah. So the problem with my R1 right now is that my water pump went, so I have to bring it to my motorcycle shop, and they have to do my water pump, which is probably going to cost me like $700 to get it up and running. But I need to have it up and running by March, so that's going to be happening with the motorcycle riding. And if you guys watch my channels, if you guys have watched my channels throughout the years, you'll know during the summer times I really don't make YouTube videos. Why? Because I'm always on that motorcycle. Um, Dark Knight, you got warrants. Funny you should say. When I ended up going to interview with my company, one of the guys rode motorcycles, and a quick funny story. They were worried that I had that type of bike, and they asked me. They were like, "Look, how many points do you have?" And I said, "I have none." And they was like, "Well, if you're going that kind of speed, how is it you don't have no points?" And I looked at them with all seriousness. I'm like, "Yeah, how indeed." Joe Erickson, I heard the plane LLCs are doing pretty good. I got a couple of them, just haven't uploaded any videos. You should. I like watching planes crash. I watch all the videos of all these turbine planes crashing and stuff like that. Dark Knight says, cool. RC for Life says, so Gio, if you would have to choose between XO1, Mama Monster, Rustler build, what would you choose as of today? The Rustler, by far. By far, I love the XO1. I've had two XO1s at one shot. If you guys ever watch my channel, you'll see older me having two. One was a blue one was a yellow one, which the yellow one I still kept. I think that the Rustler is more of a conceptual thing to do. You already know that the XO1 goes 100 miles an hour. I've seen guys do 140 with the XO1, but they do a lot of things to where I try to keep it as stock as possible when it comes down to modifications, because I do not want to come. My thing is when you buy stuff a la carte, these guys are dremeling this and cutting that and all. That's a lot of stuff. And the kid that's 12 years old that can't afford to do that, he kind of gets discouraged because he doesn't have any mastery skills in machining a lot of the stuff that he needs to do. So I try to avoid that. Dark Knight said, RC Adventures, cool dude. Yeah, you know what? Aaron ended up giving me a shout out when he did his Jumbo Kong Summit, which was a cool thing. Tap Money, that Rustler and Dravis made me get into the hobby. G, dude, let me tell you a few things about Tap Money. Tap Money, his the old channel used to be Monfidel One, and he ended up changing his channel to Tap Money. He has been with me since the beginning, so definitely mad props to you and stuff like that. Yo, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be in Philly at the end of the month. So, yo, give me a call, bro. I definitely want to meet up with you, my man. I will be in Philly. I know you're in Pennsylvania. I think you're in Philly. Definitely give me a call, bro, because I'm going to be out there. Just to give you guys a heads up. Randy Thomas says, I have a new project building it. Which project is it? I'm just curious to find out. 007 says, for sure, the cool videos motivated me to do speed runs. Yeah. Randy Thomas is a fully aluminum rustler. The greatest fully aluminum rustler I've seen. Wow, I forgot his name. He's in California. Tap Money, you know who he is, man. You know, the skinny dude with the glasses. He ended up putting all the decals on his truck, his real truck. People sending him that. Oh, man, I forgot. He had the silver bullet. Really cool RC. He stopped making videos. I don't know why. RC for Life says, if you would want to plug and play, I choose the XO1. If I had to choose a time, 100 mile per hour Rustler. You know what? The plug and play, I got the XO1 the day it released, and I broke 100 miles an hour the day it was released. Plug and play, XO1, great RC. You know, but there's just, the Rustler is just so versatile, man. You could take that on the beach. You could do speed runs with it. You can make it into anything. Joe Erickson, I cracked one of my RC planes. That's why I haven't had time to get it fixed and the other one's up and running. Yeah, I love them crash videos. I have the ones as well. RC for Life. I'm running 1.5 GRPs, scale Leopard motor. You know, I knew about Leopard motors back in the days when I started doing research with the company. Oh man, Kershaw Designs. They have a lot of things to upgrade your RCs. Steve the Clark says, I used to live and ride. Wait, I used to live. Oh, I used to live to ride, but now in a wheelchair. That's how I started in the RC hobby. Dude, I'm sorry you're in the wheelchair, man. One of the I go to 7-Eleven a lot, and one of the guys that are over there, he ended up losing his leg in a car accident. Really cool guy named Wayne and stuff like that. But he always hangs out with all the motorcycle people that are over there and stuff like that. So, Tap Money, you got it, bro. We'll have a blast. Yeah, yo, dude, I definitely got it. We definitely got to chill, man. You know, it's been half a decade. Always up, always. What do you think? What do you think can get the max? What do you think you can get max out of the X Max S? I'm not too sure. What do you think you can get max out of the X Max S? I'm not too sure what that question is. I think maybe you're talking about speed runs. If you are going to do the speed runs, I've seen guys go above 80 miles an hour for that. I haven't seen no one break 100, but I've seen guys go that fast. New York City 777 says, he has a lot of patience, Tap Money. Like, laughing my ass off. I like them videos. Keep you doing thing, bro. RC for Life says, NYC is sick, dude. Leopard seems to be pretty good. Always, oh, top speed. Yeah, around the 80s you're looking at. There's a guy, I think he went 90, and he had foam tires on his X Max, and he ended up utilizing Hobby Wing ESC 8, and he used the 1/5 scale, all 1/5 scale stuff, and his thing ended up going on fire. Tongue twister question there. Yes, definitely. RC for Life says, haha. All right. So I just got through all your statements over there. So that being said, like I said, I just wanted to give you an introduction to the Rustler Mamba Monster. A lot of people have been asking me to do a video. People who are new to the channel, people who are older people who have seen this from its initial origins, definitely wanted to see this. I mean, if you guys ever, let me see if I could pull this up. This would be an interesting thing if I could find it. I should be able to find it. We're gonna find out right now. Bum, 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 bum. Bear with me 1 second because we are live. So, let me see. Dun, 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 profile. And we're going to go to view all. And you guys can check out these pictures if you ever go on Google Plus. So, alrighty. And if you guys have been with me from the beginning, you guys will know that this was the initial Rustler when I first got it. Still running the Valenian motor, ESC. I had the fan, Anaconda tires. Those are the original shocks that I got that are still on that Rustler. Those are the Integy piggyback shocks that I have on there. As you can see, the wheelie bars over there. The chassis is definitely different. I mean, pretty much everything is bone stock on this. So this is the initial when I bought it, and it was the red one. I wanted the blue one, but I ended up getting, they didn't have the blue one, so I ended up getting the red one. So hey, Jay Gotti, what's going on? So I ended up going with the red one. So big difference between one and the other, having it both. And then here's another older picture of what this thing was like. Oh, there was a guy that wanted me to build him the exact replica of my Rustler. And I did it for him, and this is the way it came out. He paid me to build him the exact replica, and I did it my own twist on it because he liked, the way it was set up, and I ended up putting dice on it and everything like that, and I ended up going with a red theme. As you can see, the bumper is a lot wider than beforehand. I believe the bumper was for a Stampede two-wheel drive, so they made the bumper a little bit bigger. But if you guys are new to the game, those are the way the tread patterns on the old GRP look like back in the days, So that was the thing that I built for him, and he was really, really cool. He said to me, he was like, "Look, I need you to build me something exactly." He sent me a whole bunch of money. He sent me, and I went through a whole video. If you guys ever get to see a video that I did, it was each and everything that I did when I built this. This is pretty much exactly what I have on my Rustler. And when I built it for him, he said to me, "Yo, this is what I'm gonna do for the payment." I was like, "Well, what the payment is gonna be?" He gave me an XO1 brand new. I said, "Shh." And back then it was like $1,200. I was like, "All right, we good." So yeah, that was a good little bit of history lesson of somebody wanting me to build one. I wasn't expecting for him to even attempt to do that, and I was kind of flattered that he did. This is another history thing for you guys. This is when I started starting with the speed runs. Now, if you're looking at this, if you are old school, you'll be able to see that these are the carbon fiber setup Jayco foam tires, low profile. So that was an older picture of the way, and this is the original Rustler. This is that one. This is this one. And as you can see, there's back in the days when we had to put in what the hell is this thing? I forgot what the hell. What was it's from E-Sky? I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a gyro. Put the gyro in there. This is when we had to machine. These this transmission case for us to put bigger gears. Now back then there was no such thing as beyond 25 pinion. So a lot of times we had to pay companies to specifically manufacture bigger pinions for these RCs. Now you can get them anywhere. But if you're looking at the older pictures, as you can see, I ended up having weights over here and then weights over here, and I realized these things kept popping off. So, and this is before I even flipped over the T-Bone Racing bumper. So when I did that, I ended up pushing it back and started customizing it. So this was the original Rustler Mamba Monster, and as you can see, there's not even RPMs, and there you go. Once again, the Integy piggyback shocks. I even had a wheelie bar, which was back then there was no reason for that, to have the wheelie bar. As you can see, I have the Y splitter, which I changed out later on with that, and the servo was still a stock 2070 2075 Traxxas servo. I was still running on a Traxxas controller. As you can see, back then it was a red car, so I had red covers even back then. This is the Mamba Monster 2200 kV system that I have over there, and as you can see, I wasn't even doing wire mesh back then. But these tires are just by far one of the coolest tires that they add that I've to this date that I've ever seen, and those are the Jayco foam low profile tires. And a little bit of history lesson of what's transpired throughout the years, and this car is that car. So let me see if I can pull up something else. Oh, and this picture was taken right before I ended up getting the Jayco foam tires, and I was still trying to put in anacondas on there. And this was at my old place. If you guys watch my older videos, you'll notice that I'm in the kitchen, and this is my little stand. And I was just a little YouTube channel. Geo Stealth R1 was mostly for motorcycles and stuff like that, but that was the initial. All right, this is gonna work. This is not gonna work. This is gonna work. This is not gonna work. And you had to keep on going and going and breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking stuff. And back then, I thought I was crazy to even invest that kind of money into one RC. Now I got 30 something RCs, which is crazy. So, let me see if I can pull up another history picture for you guys to check out. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's it at this point. Yeah. So yeah, that's a little bit of history lesson on the Rustler and stuff like that. I mean, I was so enamored with this girl. I said, oh, I'm gonna put that on my part list. I have no idea why I even I have no idea why I even have Alyssa Milano there, but I thought it was pretty cool when I when I put her up. I'm like, damn, man, Alyssa Milano looks dope. You know what? I'm gonna make sure she wears a Geo Stealth R1 t-shirt. So that's a little bit of a history thing. I think I did a pretty good Photoshop edit of that. It looks like she's wearing a t-shirt. So that was this is going back years ago. I mean, you're gonna notice that the GLP tires that I have on there are totally different than what this is before the Velocity things came out. So yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool and stuff. So yeah, a little bit of history lesson of you guys checking out. You guys are able to check out these pictures on Google Plus, and if you go on Google Plus, you'll be able to see all my RCs that are on there, and pretty much all the initial creations throughout time, and a whole bunch of pictures that I've done throughout the years and stuff like that. As you can see, LEDs and everything like that. And this is a cool RC, my Stampede 4x4 Stampinky, which is one of my most favorite ones out there. You'll be able to look up on videos of let's go into, since we were talking about the XO1, you'll look at, when I did a sunset picture with the Rustler and the XO1. This is when I had another blue, a blue XO1. This is when I had both XO1s on there. You'll be able to see a little bit of history lesson on the RCs. This is the XO1 right there, customized paint job that I did for it. So yeah, a little bit of history lesson you'll be able to see on the Google Plus, all the upgrades that I've done throughout the years. As you can see, this is my e-Revo, and a few things that you'll be able to check out when I had the tracks for the e-Revo that people think are crazy, that I even spent that kind of money on there. So cool person to check out. Racing for Autism, Chief Firewolf. Another one of my big supporters out there. Definitely check him out. He's pretty cool people. I mean, he always checks up on my things, so I think that's totally awesome. That he does that and stuff like that. And then you'll see a few motorcycle things that I throw in there. As of while, you'll see a few pictures of stuff that I do during the summer times and stuff like that. So even when I get my stuff repaired. So so anyway. Off topic. Let me go into a lot of the statements that have been made in a little bit. Let me see. Foams. I still have my mini set of Jayco foams. Jarrow. Yes. Thank you for helping me out there. I saw when you wrote that. Jay Gotti. It's going to be his project car. I just want a new Merv. Helps me with it. You should definitely check out my Merv videos. I'm going to be doing, like I said, I'm going to be doing videos like this about each and every one of my RCs, and we're going to talk about a little bit of history of, what got me into doing that particular RC. RC for Life says, Little kid building a 100 mile per hour Rustler. Jay Gotti says, so which is better, RC car, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive? I like the 4x4s. By far. Yes, you corrected him. New York City Double Seven says he's gonna pull out the grasshopper right now. Jay says, yeah. RC for Life says, uh, if you got TMS, 2-wheel drive RC, you're fine. Yeah, you know, Traxxas stability, management, whatever they call it. Steve DeClark says you had an orange Rustler with the red and white dice. You had an orange Rustler with the red and white dice in the body. Did you? RC for Life, don't have TMS, but I have the gyro on it. TMS is the same thing. New York City 007s, yeah, buddy. Rock those XO1. Big fan of those cars. Yeah, dude. I still have that red body with all the decals, specific decals for that. That should work awesome. You got to do an XO1 live chat. It's overdue. Yeah, maybe I will do that. Let me see. Does TMS work well on slash 4x4 set? Yo, that works excellent. Chevy Brother Outlaw RC, it definitely works. The TSM is definitely a cool thing to have for your RC. It definitely works really, really well. Anyway, that being said, I'm glad you guys were able to stop by to check out what's initially transpiring. A cool part list thing. If you guys are able to put down in the description below, you're going to be able to notice that everything that I have in this Rustler is in the description below. So if you ever have any questions and stuff like that, or what I've put onto this Rustler, you'll see that in the description. If you guys enjoy the content of what I'm doing right now, definitely give me a thumbs up. It definitely does help me. If you guys are able to check out my Instagram, it's hashtag GeoStealthR1 on Instagram. GeoStealthR1 on Google+, GeoStealthR1 on Twitter, and if you have any personal questions that you need me to answer, it's GeoStealthR1@yahoo.com. So hopefully you guys are able to enjoy this video. I think if everything works out the way I think it's going to be, hold on, let me check out my phone. Hold on. There was a Model V truck on my driveway. My friends are funny. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys are able to enjoy these videos and stuff like that I'm able to pull out. And you never know. Maybe in 5 minutes, you'll see an XO1 video. Anyway, rate, comment, subscribe. Until my fellas up in YouTube. Later.